So that's what I say. Is if you want it, go for it. Anyway, I feel like I've been podcasting now. I think I'm going on 3 years now. I've got an excellent group of podcasters behind me. The X Squad affiliates. A great group of podcasters, podcast supporters, podcast listeners. Found at xsquadaffiliates.com. All kinds of shows found on there. We got sports talk. We got relationship. We got politics. We got lifestyle. We got a little bit of everything. You can find well over 20 plus shows on our network. So be sure to continue to listen to us. My show also is found on Kysii.com, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, here on Spreaker, my own mobile app, the Kickin' with Kysii mobile app, found in all those places. And I love, like I said, I love talking. That's what I do. I gets it in. And a lot of the folks here who are here with us like to get it in as well. We got a room full of supporters and podcasters up in here. So shout out to y'all. Shout out for doing what you do. Shout out to the X Squad affiliate. Shout out to the network mixing group that I have on GroupMe. Other podcasters who are tuning in. Shout out to the Facebook promo group that I have. Or you have a show, let us know on Facebook. Shout out to Two Live Stews Radio. Man, shout out to wherever you're coming from. Shout out to 757, those folks coming through. And I see you, Kevin Gray, Clutch Talk Sports up in here, checking in. Welcome, brother. And shout out to him for doing his thing, man, on Sports Web Radio Network. And man, I'm telling you, X is doing it big, man. Doing a lot of big things. So like I said, we're gonna continue to keep putting that thing out there. What's new here, man? It's a lot of absolutely crazy stuff that's going on this week. Did you hear about the ball boy from UCLA? I'm gonna read the little story here. That's LiAngelo Ball. Alright, so let me give y'all a little bit. If you haven't heard about it, maybe you have, and it's probably been the subject of the week, especially on sports talk and the sports avenues. But basically, LiAngelo Ball and 2 UCLA teammates were suspended indefinitely for shoplifting in China. So the story is 3 UCLA basketball players accused of shoplifting at 3 high-end stores in China publicly apologized Wednesday before coach Steve Alford announced they were being suspended indefinitely. Freshmen LiAngelo Ball, Jalen Hill, and Cody Riley won't be allowed to suit up, practice, or travel with the team while the university continues to sort out the circumstances of last week's incident in China. Alford said during a news conference at Pauley Pavilion, "These are good young men who have exercised an inexcusable lapse of judgment, and now they have to live with that," Alford said. "They let a lot of people down in the process. I'm confident that they have already begun to use this experience as a life lesson," he added. Ball, Hill, and Riley took turns confessing to the theft and apologizing while also thanking President Donald Trump for intervening on their behalf with his Chinese counterpart. I don't know how to say his name. Xi Jinping. The players have returned to Los Angeles on Tuesday after Chinese authorities withdrew the charges against them. "I'm sorry for stealing from the stores in China," said Ball, the younger brother of Los Angeles rookie Lonzo Ball, who played last season at UCLA. "I've learned my lesson from this big mistake, and I'm 100% sure I'll never make a mistake like this again. It's going to make me a better person from here on out." When it was his turn, Hill said, "I'm sorry for shoplifting. What I did was stupid. I don't want to be known for this dumb mistake. I hope you can forgive my stupid, childish actions," he added. Riley was the first to speak, and he thanked the Pac-12 conference, several UCLA administrators, and his teammates. "You guys mean so much to me," Riley said of the teammates. "I'm sorry for letting you down." All right, that's another. And with Trump, they said, "I'd like to thank President Trump and the United States government for the help that they provided us as well." All right. Now, what I don't understand, and I know they're young, so I really can't say a whole lot here because they're young. You know what I mean? They're young guys who are going to make mistakes. I ain't going to jump on them because it was dumb. Nobody excusing any of that. But I know, as a young man, I did dumb stuff. I know my kids did dumb stuff. I know some of y'all did dumb stuff. I know y'all kids did some dumb stuff. So, it happened. But you are in China, man. You're in China. Out of the country. Who in the hell is going to commit a crime outside of the United States? Have you seen the shows Locked Up Abroad or something like that? Where the punishment for you committing a crime outside of the United States? I mean, China was about to do something real serious here. So the government had to step in. Shout out to Brian Hill joining us, and shout out to Knox. It don't make any sense for you as a diplomat of the United States to go and do that. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, okay, you're a college student, you're young, it's inexcusable, but you're from a family that has money. Quote unquote has money. Your brother is an NBA player. You know what I mean? He's got money. You didn't need to steal the stuff. What are you stealing it for? Was it a bet? Was it something dumb? It doesn't make sense. Kevin got something nice here. You know, I'm gonna read what you just said. Kevin from Clutch Talk said, "The biggest L you can catch is doing something so stupid like shoplifting in China that you have to publicly thank Donald Trump for getting you out of trouble and being indebted to him for keeping you out of a Chinese prison. Congratulations to LiAngelo Ball and your teammates." My sentiments as well. Thank you, Kevin. You have to bow down and thank Donald Trump for getting you and your teammates out of this situation. I mean, seriously. At what point in time? What point in time do you feel good inside about having to do something like that? For real. It doesn't make any sense. Y'all have heard me in the past. I don't know what, like I said, I have a lot of listeners from all over, all different walks of life. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to jump on my thoughts and my feelings about Donald Trump because that's not what we're talking about here. We're actually talking about LiAngelo and his dumb decision. What he decided to do. And his mind has not matured yet. He is a young man who's going to make mistakes. But that's not the type of mistake you make. That's the same type of mistake of riding around with a dude who's in a Lincoln Continental, 1997 Lincoln Continental with you and riding around about somebody he don't like, and he jumps out the car and shoots the dude. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong crowd. That's young mistakes. Things that can affect you for life. You're in China committing a shoplifting crime. You have no idea what the sentencing was over there. I didn't read what it was. I didn't read what was supposed to happen to you should the United States government not stepped in. Really? You put yourself in that situation. You put yourself in a situation where you could have cost your whole college career. And you may have, because we don't know what UCLA is going to do here. I mean, it was a dumb mistake, and I'm sure they're going to overlook this and look past it, and you will continue on. But dude, think about it. You and your ball family, the baller brand, your brother who was second pick in the NBA draft, you who was supposed to be next crowned up, coming up the ranks from the ball family to go into the NBA draft, and then your little brother. So you are a example. You are a influence. You are a role model for your younger brother, supposedly. So you didn't do so well. Do you ever think about that? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Let me see. Big L said, Kevin, LiAngelo Ball is and was not a one and done player before the shoplifting mess. Damn sure not going pro early now. Wody said, yeah, if I was living here 12 years ago, I would have loved it. It's fun for the ratchets. Oh, okay. Not sure what you're talking about. Let's see. Sluggo says, still odd that the brother of a newly minted millionaire with still a pair of $300 shades. And Wody said, he better be extra good if he even wants to sniff the NBA. Exactly my sentiment. You are stacking the deck against you and the brand, the baller brand that your father is trying to create. All right. First off, your father has put out he put a crown above all of your heads, all three of you. He put a crown above your heads for you to step up and fit into it. If Lonzo turns around and becomes one of the greatest NBA players that we've ever seen, which is possibly, I mean, I don't see it, but if it possibly happens, he looks like he's the greatest man in the world. You know what I mean? So if the younger ones actually follow in the same footsteps and went NBA, I don't see it as far as skills. Like I said, neither one of them have outstanding skills. So now it just looks like the father has just put in a lot of hot talk. His oldest son, yes, made it into the NBA, made it to, second pick there for the Lakers. But now it's like the UCLA LiAngelo is lackluster at best. And not to say he can't get any better, but things like this do not fare so well, especially for you and your marketing and your branding and your merchandising. Not at all. It doesn't. Not at all. This is something that will hang over your head and your future. So it doesn't make any sense for you. I mean, like I said, he's young. He's not thinking it out. And it's not about in his head, the future of my family. I got to really think. I mean, he should be thinking like that. He should be in China and thinking about his family, his brand, and his aura, and his future, and his possibly future millionaire status. His brother's a millionaire, but him himself, I'm talking about generational money. I'm talking about the balls being like the best thing since sliced bread for the sport of basketball. I mean, if he was thinking it at that level, and instead of being in China goofing off and messing around, but actually working on his game and how can he step it up and become the best upcoming NBA player, then we're talking about something that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Something that he should be doing. But like I said, he's young. It's not in his mind to think about that. It's not in his mind to process that. He's a young man who's thinking about entertaining his friends and his reputation and everything else. But he has damaged his reputation because people are clowning. People are all over the social media clowning. They're on Snapchat clowning. They're on Instagram clowning. You know what I mean? And maybe they're making